Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, holy shit, I just got done with the first episode of season 3 of The Boys called Payback. To start off, they dropped 3 episodes to start off the season, and of course, it'll go back to its normal, every Friday, a new episode drops out. But holy shit, already I could tell this might be the best season of The Boys. I am super impressed with what this first episode achieved, like what it did to set up the season. I am just I can't even process how good this fucking first episode is. This will be a spoiler review. So, we pretty much start this episode called Payback with literally, it's the Dawn of the Seven premiere, and, they were about to shelve it, they were, because of the whole Stormfront Nazi thing, but, they a whole bunch of people that wanted Dawn of the Seven did hashtag, Dawn of the Seven cut, like they hashtagged it, and it's like a spoof, of course, of the Snyder cut, that came out. So they really hone in, of course, on the whole Justice League thing and the whole, Snyder cut, hashtag that went around, like release the Snyder cut, and it was like release the Dawn of the Seven cut or whatever, hashtag release Dawn of the Seven. So I just really like how they did that. I thought it was very funny. On top of, Huey is doing amazing. He's no longer working with, Butcher, and, MM is no longer working with Billy, of course, either. He is, with, his wife and his kid. But, when we do go back to seeing MM, he is trying to work together, like do co-parenting, because I guess in the time of last season, how he was trying to get back to his wife and kid, I guess, his wife moved on and started dating somebody else, which was crazy to see the moment where, he's at his kid's birthday party, and, it's a Vought 7 birthday party, literally. It's like a 7 inspired birthday party that his kid, like, wanted, like, as her birthday party, and she dressed up as Starlight, and of course the new boyfriend dressed up, of course, as Homelander, and of course you can tell MM is doing anything and everything to try to make it work with his wife, even if it's like co-parenting. Like, he really wants to try to make things go back the way they were, but all that time passed where, he was really working hard to, I guess, get back, with his wife and kid, but I guess it was already too late. And, he's struggling trying to, go back to normal, and without, after, pretty much hunting soups his entire time, you know what I mean, of like majority of his life is hunting soups with Billy and stuff and doing all this stuff. So it's kind of like hard for him to break that day-to-day basis of him, going back into doing that when he promised that he would be, done with working with Billy and done hunting soups and doing all that stuff and just wanting to be with his wife and kid, because that's literally what he was fighting for, and what he was trying to do in the other seasons of The Boys. He like always wanted to get back to his wife and kid. But at this point, he, like, his wife already moved on. His wife, told, him to move on, you know what I mean? I'm happy, I've moved on. And, it's like he's having a hard time, and he's hunting, this new group, pretty much, Jensen Ackles' Soldier Boy group. He's like hunting them down behind the scenes. We're not quite sure why he's hunting them, but I'm really excited to see how that fills in. Because, while, Huey's happy with Annie, pretty much, it's a public relationship that Huey has with Annie. And, he is killing it right now. He is pretty much working with Victoria Newman. And as we all know about Victoria Newman of last season, she was the person that was pretty much blowing everybody's heads up. And, she, like, in the main view, the main eye view of, her, pretty much in the news circuit is pretty much she is going against how Vought does things the wrong way, and she wants to fight the good fight on the right side of things, and wants to, like, pretty much exploit all the bad stuff Vought does. But behind the scenes, she's literally was behind all the head blowing up and all the people blowing up of last season. So we don't really know quite yet what her end goal is, as we know that there is totally something there, but of course Huey doesn't know that. So the moment that we saw of last season, when Huey pretty much left Billy and and wanted to do things the right way without getting blood and, breaking the law, getting blood on his hands without breaking the law. He wanted to do what Victoria Newman was doing, was how she was fighting the good fight publicly and in the right way, and going through the right, rules of the law to get things done and to make real change. At least that's what she claims. But again, she's killing people behind the scenes. And, there's this one dude in this episode that keeps wanting to meet up with her. And I guess, like, Victoria Newman's actually not her real name. I forget quite what it was. But there was this person from her past that pretty much, discovered that, she had a new identity, but I guess, wanted to talk to her because clearly they have a past. I don't know if they're friends or not, or maybe they were in the same program. Maybe that's how they got their abilities. But this dude has abilities and pretty much, was saying, like, oh, like, I finally found you, and, they need to know what happened to me. And of course she's like, they can't, I'm sorry. And of course, he ends up fighting her, and she ends up pretty much blowing up his hands, and pretty much ends up blowing up, like, his face. And he's like, they need to know about Red River, which I'm curious to know what Red River is. Is that like a program that maybe she was a part of, that Vought maybe was secretly doing things to people behind the scenes, maybe testing things before they made, Homelander, or before they made whatever? Like, I'm really curious to know. Was was Victoria Newman and this one dude maybe like the first subjects of the Compound V? I don't know, but I'm curious to know what's going on with that, the whole Red River thing. And Huey pretty much essentially sees what happens to this dude and hears him saying, that he knows this person and knows that Victoria Newman's name is just a front. That's a cover-up for her, what her actual name is. And I feel like at this point he knows that she is a soup, and I'm curious to know where things will go from here. I think he's going to start working with Billy again, breaking the law, pretty much to get actual shit done and to really get rid of these, bad people that are literally in the government and and have source of power being in the government. So I'm just excited because, she's claiming she's on the right side of things. That's literally what what persona she's putting on right now. Like, she's claiming that Vought is bad, which they are, but she is no better. And now Huey knows that, and he's pretty much going to want to discover what's going on with her. And of course he's going to go to Butcher, even though he was already working with Butcher, kind of like Butcher and and Frenchie and Kimiko were pretty much, they're working with Huey, and they're working for Victoria Newman as kind of like as kind of like, I forget, like, trying to get, like, information off of people, but without killing them, pretty much trying to get, dirt on people and give it to Victoria Newman, so that way she can, put them behind bars and stuff, pretty much trying to put the bad guys away the right way. And that's how pretty much, Frenchie and Kimiko and also Butcher pretty much get to pay the bills and stuff, and get to feel like that they're actually still making a difference the right way. And that's why Huey wanted to, like, have them work with, him to show, Huey wanted to show Butcher that there is a right way to do it without having blood on our hands, without breaking the law. So pretty much, Huey's doing this as a favor to Butcher, pretty much trying to show him that you can leave this behind now. You don't have to keep doing this, and you can just, live your life without having to feel like you have to break the law and without killing soups. Like, there is a better way to do it. That's why, that's what Victoria Newman stands for. But, like, Butcher really isn't buying what Victoria Newman is selling, that, she's this good person trying to put bad soups behind bars and stuff. And I feel like when Huey tells Billy what he just saw, he's gonna be like, I told you that girl was, no good, and I told you, she had an agenda or something, or like something is up with her, because he's not buying what she's selling about, she's so good and stuff, and that, killing soups isn't the right way to do things and handle things, because Billy thinks that is the right way to handle things, killing these bad soups, because there's no way of putting them behind bars, because they end up just walking scot-free anyways, and he feels like the only way to really, like, make changes to kill the bad soups. Also, that one scene with Termite, where again, Butcher and Kimiko and Frenchie are working for Victoria Newman and Huey, and they're doing getting information and giving it to them so they can put the bad guys away type shit. That Termite scene where literally Termite went small, was in a Barbie dream house and was fucking that doll. I was like, what the frick? On top of the one scene where, Termite and his boyfriend are literally in a room, and Termite's boyfriend's like, yo, I wanna feel you inside me, and Termite goes to like goes small, he shrinks down like Ant-Man and jumps into his boyfriend's ass. And I kid you not, I was like, what the fuck? And he said, reach my prostate. And I was like, and then the moment where literally he smoked, like he snorted coke beforehand before he jumped in, and then when he sneezed, he grew big inside of his boyfriend, and he like exploded his boyfriend. And I kid you not, there was so much gore, I just could not process. I'd say this might be the most goriest season yet. Just from the first episode, I was like, oh my god, they're really going in with this graphic shit and how like gory it is. And like, I just could not process literally what I was watching in that moment. I was like, I just can't even process. The dude literally went into this dude's ass. I was like, what the frick? So I'm excited to see where like Billy will go this season for like the rest of the episodes and the rest of the season, because honestly it looks like he just wants to start killing Soups again and wants to start just like working the way he used to work with like with his old team, because I mean he pretty much has the old team, except Huey is doing like going the right path of putting Soups behind bars instead of killing them. He's doing the right thing, or at least he thinks he's doing the right thing, because he doesn't know about Victoria Newman until the end of this episode. But Billy wants to go back to that chaotic side of, breaking the law, killing the Soups, and he feels like that's the best way to make the world a better place. So I'm just excited to see how that's all going to go, now that, Huey knows that, everything is rigged. Your way is the way we got to do this. We got to do it your way, because my way clearly didn't work, about, me working for someone that, I thought, wanted to actually do the right thing, but is actually killing people behind the scenes, and is actually it actually has a fake persona and isn't who they say that they are. So I'm excited for that. On top of Huey being jealous of Annie's ex-boyfriend, what his name is called I think it was called Superstorm. It was called like Supersonic. Yeah, it was Supersonic. There's this dude named Supersonic that Annie used to date when she was like younger, and of course Annie is like the high, like she's a part of this kind of like this television show where like I guess it's like kind of like I forget the word for it. It's kind of like a kind of like a Lost show, like you get to stay or you get to go type of show, kind of like a Bachelor type show, like are you gonna stay or are you gonna go, pretty much to see who's gonna be the next ones in the 7, because the one that's in charge of Vought pretty much made Annie, since her numbers are so high in popularity, pretty much made Annie a co-leader of the 7, and already like Homelander has lost it. Like he's literally at the edge of like pretty much we thought the last couple of seasons was his breaking point. Literally he's like at his breaking point. You know what I mean? Like he's literally lost his mind at this point. And because he feels like he has been somebody that's it doesn't need to be someone that isn't needed anymore, thinks that he can't be replaced, and the fact that like the one that is in charge of Vought pretty much made Starlight a co-leader of the 7 already is like, I think was his last breaking point, because already like he is pissed off of so many news people asking him, oh, how did you not know Stormfront was a Nazi? How did you not know you were dating a Nazi? Blah, 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 blah. And he pretty much has to answer the same question over and over again. You can just see how pissed he's getting and how he's at his breaking point. And you really don't really see it until, until I forget what his name is, until, the one that's in charge of Vought pretty much says to, Homelander that, Starlight will be the co-leader with you with the 7, and you can just tell he's lost it at this point, and he's at his breaking point. So I'm just excited to see what chaos he'll be like doing going forward, on top of him being framed by of course Maeve and Starlight about the whole tape of him leaving those passengers to die on the plane. He has that over his head, on top of Butcher taking Ryan and hiding Ryan somewhere, on top of pretty much Homelander losing his shit. The last straw was Starlight. Stan Edgar pretty much you know, pretty much putting Starlight as co-leader of the Seven, and we end up finding out that Stormfront's alive because Homelander goes to see Stormfront, and she's in in a hospital bed, and she looks literally like the way she looked, like the way we left her in last season's like finale, and I just could not. But I just could not. I was so shocked she was alive. I thought she died, but to find out she's still alive, it's like, oh my god, will she come back somehow? Like, will someone like give her robotic parts or some shit? I don't fucking know. But like, 'cause she has no legs, like I think she has one arm, and pretty much well, Homelanders can like pretty much pretty much talking to Stormfront about all of his problems. Stormfront is literally jerking off Homelander while Homelander is talking about his troubles, and I was just like, oh my god, like what the frick? We have mangled Stormfront literally jerking off like Homelander about and pretty much saying that he deserves more, and like, oh, that's unacceptable, that Starlight is your leader with you about the Seven, and you deserve more and stuff like that, pretty much comforting him. I'm like, it was so disturbing, so weird, and oh my god, I just don't know what they're going to be doing, why Stormfront's alive, and I'm afraid that the director of the show didn't just leave her alive for no reason. I feel like she's somehow going to come back and somehow gonna just be even more of a bigger terror. I don't know, but I'm just excited to see what they're doing with that, because I feel like it's not for no reason we saw Stormfront still alive. So it's like he's literally, I would say, all these news reporters asking, how'd you not know you were dating a Nazi, on top of also him no longer being the main leader of the Seven. I feel like at this point he's just lost it. Like he has lost it. And I'm just excited to see what he's going to do, on top of him going to see Butcher at the end of this episode, like saying Vought's doing the wrong thing. Vought's pretty much trying to think that they can put me on the shelf, and you know what I mean, and somebody else like can be the leader of the Seven, and pretty much that this is all a joke and I'm not in charge and stuff, and people he's just lost it. And he said, I want chaos, you know what I mean, like, how about we do this, me and you, like we see who's the last one standing. Like, he wants chaos, like he wants to burn down the world, and he wants to have that fight with Butcher so bad. Like, he wants it to be how it used to be, how he was in charge, and like he was hunting them and fighting them. Like, he wants that. And I think Butcher is going to take that new compound V, which I forget what it's called, but it's V that lasts like 24 hours. So it's not like, you take the V and it lasts forever. It only lasts 24 hours. It gives you powers for like 24 hours. And Maeve gave it to Butcher because Maeve saw that Homelander literally had A-Train by his head, telling A-Train, like, because he saw A-Train walking down the hallway, and he had the milkshake with double foam, and he's like, oh, you're looking, chubby or whatever, oh, you know what I mean, like, and he's like, and A-Train's like, I have to burn, like, something thousand calories, because I run so quick. He's like, yeah, that was when you used to run, but you're too busy in the break room eating all those cupcakes and stuff, getting fat, you think this is a joke. And he said, fat F or whatever, and he walked away. And of course, A-Train's like, oh, fuck you or whatever. And he's like, what did you say? Meaning, like, he said it quietly enough, he whispered it, like, oh, F you. But of course, Homelander heard it and pretty much went to A-Train and said, what did you say? Say it, like, say sorry, or, you know what I mean? And it was literally about to laser his face. And at that point, Maeve's like, no, we gotta take Homelander out. He's lost it, especially after his last straw was, him no longer being like the main leader of the Seven. Now he's a co-leader to, Starlight. He's lost it. We got to take him out. And pretty much that's when she gave, Butcher the the 24-hour compound V, which again, I don't know. I think it's called like A24. It's called something like that. But, and of course they're doing this, 24-hour V that doesn't last that long, because of course they want to, Stan Edgar wants to, because he is the one that's in charge of Vought. Stan Edgar wants to sell it to the military and pretty much charge the military like $2 million to even take it. for like, and it's not even like you get powers like forever. It's only 24 hours, and then he's making everybody pay $2 million to take it. So if you sell it to the military, and like, and each soldier takes it, they're going to be like paying 24 million to take it. So he makes a ton of money off of doing this. This is, of course, a money grab on his behalf. Like, you know what I mean? He just wants money. That's why he didn't make it. You take the V, and you have powers forever. No, it's only for 24 hours. So you still have to keep paying $2 million to take a little bit of V for only like 24 hours, have powers for only like 24 hours. So of course it's a scam, and it's a money grab, and of course it's perfect for Vought. So I just love how they're doing this, and they're finding more and more ways to, you know, scam people and get as much money as possible, because that's literally what Vought is. It's like they just care about money, and they care about power. And I just love that so much, that, you know, Stan Edgar is like this. And he is literally, I think he's slowly trying to make Starlight, you know, the main leader, and pretty much get rid of Homelander. I think that's what he wants to do, because he knows Homelander is damaged goods, and that's pretty much what Homelander's right. He knows that Stan Edgar wants to put him on the shelf because he's old news, and Starlight's new news, where they're having so much, so much popularity in the polls of which Seven member is the most popular. On top of course, Deep making his book about him being in that cult or whatever, and, you know, he made a book, and pretty much he's trying to wiggle his way back into the Seven, and, you know, it's just absolutely hilarious to me. I just could not get over how Huey was jealous of that what is it, super what was it, super, I forget what it was, like Supersonic. I can't believe he's jealous of Supersonic. Like, dude, Annie likes you. She doesn't like this dude anymore. That's her ex-boyfriend for a reason. I was like, Huey, no, bro. And it cringed me out. Like, I just couldn't even look at the moment when, you know, he goes into, Annie's trailer, and Annie's like, oh my god, you know, Stan Edgar asked me to be co-leader of the Seven. He's like, I don't think that's a good idea. And she's like, this is good because, you know, there's never been a woman leader of any super team, and this will be good for girls to look up to. And of course, you know, he's like, is this you talking or your mother talking? And she's like, why can't I just do something for me, because this is finally something I want. And I forget, like, and he's like, oh, so what, like, you, like, and because she was mentioning, oh, she gets to choose the new team, and he's like, she's like, and of course Huey's like, is that why you're doing this, stupid? Like, pretty much, you know, who will stay and who will go for, like, the Seven thing to see who the new member of the Seven is. And of course, is that why, so you can be closer to your boyfriend or whatever. And of course he's Annie was like, you know, jealousy isn't a good look for you, Huey. And I'm like, damn, Huey. After he said, well, why, so you can get closer to your boyfriend, I'm like, no, I couldn't even look. It cringed me out. But I just loved this first episode, especially after that, you know, encounter with Homelander showing up to Butcher's apartment. He wants to take that V more than anything now, so that way he can kill Homelander like he's been wanting to, and how pretty much like how Maeve's been wanting him to do it too, because they're kind of on the same page of wanting to kill Homelander. On top of, you know, when Maeve gave, you know, Billy the new V that lasts 24 hours, she said that you need to hunt for Soldier Boy, because if you hunt for Soldier Boy, he got taken out by this apparently this weapon that's able to take out, like, you know, soups, and really strong soups. And pretty much this is a weapon that's pretty much like, it's just a rumor, but apparently if it's true, this thing could kill Homelander. From what I'm understanding, they're not trying to get Soldier Boy, but apparently there's a weapon that killed Soldier Boy, and Soldier Boy is really powerful. I think in the comic books he's more powerful than Homelander, like he's more of a threat than Homelander. And this thing was able to kill Soldier Boy, so called. And there's a weapon that, again, Maeve wants him to find, and I guess if you find Soldier Boy, you would find the weapon, and that's pretty much essentially of what Butcher needs to, you know, find, is this weapon, but also take the V, just in case because the only one that really knows where this weapon is, or I guess where, you know, Soldier Boy is his other colleagues of this team that MM is already hunting down. So I'm curious to know, like, you know, what fight sequence we'll get, like, you know, with Butcher taking the V, this new, like, 24-hour V, going against his going like you trying to find Soldier Boy's other teammates to find out where Soldier Boy is and where this weapon is to take out Homelander. I just cannot wait, and I'm excited to see where ties into all this, because he's hunting down Soldier Boy's old teammate. So I'm excited to see where that plays into gear. But yeah, guys, I've just really enjoyed this first episode. I cannot wait to see what the other episodes, like, what crazy shit we're going to see. Especially, I can't wait to see if Butcher actually took the V, which, as we know from the trailers, he does. But I'm excited to see what the next episode holds. I'm just loving it. I really do think that this might be the best season yet. But guys, yeah, like, again, here, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put in notifications, like this video. I'd love to have you guys here, a part of the fam, a part of the channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And guys, yet again, we're almost to 600 subscribers. Right now, we're at 525, almost to 600. My goal is to get to 600 before the end of June, but my initial goal is to get to 1,000 before the end of this year. And I know we can do that, again, with your love and your support. Guys, that was a video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.